Boys are literally coming right over the bridge right now. Come on over, boys. Let's get straight into it. It's Ant Deck, everybody.
Morning.
Sit on down.
Hello.
Come on in.
Morning, how are you all?
Look at you. Look at you and Deck wearing the same colours.
We are.
Like Jedward.
Winning. Come on.
Sorry, okay, you should have said.
You should have worn your red dress.
You should have worn polka dots.
You just walked on to Come On Eileen, which this is a little game we're going to play every day.
Yeah.
That was #1 the day one of our campmates was born. Which one?
Oh.
There was like the 80s.
So that is the 80s, early 80s.
I was gonna Danny from McFly.
It's Alan.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Do I have time?
That's not like the old games we used to play on ITV2, guys. Come on.
I'm sorry. It's unsure whether that'll make it to tomorrow. I don't think you look small in real life. I think you look normal size.
So, yeah, I mean, we're not that small, are we?
I think you're very normal. To be fair, you're around a lot of big trees.
That is true.
Very good point.
That is a very
point.
good point.
I'm of average height.
I love this. Average. Do you know what? You know you're small, you can add a 0.5 onto it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm always a half of whatever it is.
And what is it, Sam? What is it?
Whatever it is.
Are you surprised by Dean doing the trial?
No. I'm not actually.
No.
No, I'm not. I mean, I'm not surprised it was those two. Did you notice at the very end?
We were laughing very unprofessionally at the end of the ITV1
Because
show.
where the person doing the next trial is Dean.
And his face
drop, but everyone went, well done, GK, well done. He's just left in the corner like, thanks, guys. Thanks, you bitches.
A lot of his own thoughts that he's doing the trial. GK, you smashed it. Well done, you didn't get it.
What the hell, I'm here?
And just a solitary one hand on the shoulder for Dean.
It was.
Did you guys hear Dean at the end, like, as soon as you walked away, and he was like, I told them this is the one thing I didn't want to do.
Yeah.
Sarcophagus.
Yeah.
It's also really hard for his face to drop with all the Botox he's had. It's really difficult. How do you think he'll get on? Do you reckon he'll do all right?
I've got no idea. I don't know. I haven't quite figured him out yet.
No,
if I'm
I know.
honest.
I think that too. He's
you know
a
what I mean?
hard one to read.
Yeah.
He's kind of trying. He's trying quite hard, and that's often quite divisive down there. I think sometimes some people love that, and some people are like, oh. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how he goes.
He's good for the viewer, I think, because he's asking the questions that we want to know.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's just the question for him is, don't go too hard with it, because you saw Khalid look at him and go, stop asking me. Oh, no!
Yeah, the
Well,
Wagger
also
said
just
stuff.
be you. I mean, if that is him, then cool.
Yeah.
I think also he's a little bit divisive for the viewer as well, because looking on social media during the show, which we do, there's a lot of people going, oh my God, I love Dean, he's so fun and he's energetic, and a lot of people go, no, I'm not buying Dean, he's over the top, he's too much. So, you know, because he's so up there and front and centre, he will divide people.
I think it's also really because he's the probably the least known out of any of the campmates in there, and I really love those people in there. I think kind of Sam was one of them where you go in, people know them less, and then they come out as like this new great person everyone really loves.
I really like him, I have to say.
I think he's funny.
I think,
I
he's
great.
good energy around there, and he's a good
he is.
catalyst for conversation.
You need that as well, especially when it starts raining and stuff. Like when the weather gets bad, you need someone who's just going to be asking random questions, getting up and asking about twerking and stuff like that.
Do you feel like when the weather gets bad that there's got to be someone that to lift their
Have to,
spirit?
they have to, because
I think, right, this is me then.
We were watching on the screen GK. The moment it started raining, you saw her face drop, and she's such a lovely, bubbly person, like they all are. You want someone just to be in there and be like, "Come on, let's have it." And I think he might be that guy.
Yeah.
It's like last year when it started raining, and immediately you're like, it's time to sing some JLS. Let's go.
Do you know what as well? The beauty, if you're one of us, the beauty is that they can't leave. Like, they have to be around that campfire, so they're kind of stuck there.
There's nowhere they can go.
I'll tell you what, though, when it rains, it's miserable down there. But even walking in there, it's boggy and wet and just
How long
smells
does it
damp in the
stay,
air.
like, wet for? Like, do your clothes and
Oh,
your bed
mate.
get soaked as well?
It's
Nothing
so
dries.
intense, especially if you pick, like, certain beds, then you get absolutely drenched in there.
Yeah.
And also the lightning, the thunder that you can hear coming through. It's, like, kind of magical in a weird way as well. And then you get close to I was the bed near the fire, so, like, the fire's always nice. You get the smoke in the face. You're right in the thick of it, you know?
Yeah.
And no one goes to the loo without you knowing at night as well.
Great. You're like
it's not a great
security.
thing.
What was your favourite clip of the day?
Favourite clip of the day, I mean, it's got to be Beans Down the Creek. Wasn't that brilliant? We were watching when we came in this morning. I did the same thing that Talisa did. As soon as she did it, I went, oh!
Yeah.
And it was so perfect, the way they'd all been talking, the way Barry'd been talking about he wants his porridge and his honey and his bananas, and the fact they've descended so quickly into hunger this year.
Day two.
Oh, God,
And
yeah,
then
day two.
the beans into the creek was just...
We've got a clip of it. Should we have a look?
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, I do it over the edge and go slow so we don't drop the rice.
God, it's the way she warns. She's like, well, don't you drop that rice.
Yeah.
Don't drop that rice. Bam.
But then it just does take up quite a nice chunk of time picking out the grass.
Yeah, it does, of course, yeah.
Individual
So it
bits.
kind of
Would you have saved it or would you have
No,
left it?
that-
Loads of people are going,
you've
I'll
got
just
to.
leave it.
That's week
You've
2
gotta
kind of
save it.
vibes, I feel like. You're
Really?
day 2 doing that. I mean, then what are they going to do if they don't get any stars?
Because you had the rations, and then that's got to last you for like the next 3 or 4 days. So if
Yeah.
you go ruin it, but what an emotional roller coaster the whole day was. It felt like it was such a good episode, and then that the Barry talking about his daughter.
Oh, that really got me. We watched all
Man.
the VTs earlier in the day, well, in the middle of the night before we do the show, and it really, I was crying in the
We all were in the
viewing. It
viewing
was
today.
just-
We were all in tears.
I can't imagine losing a child, and to you know, he didn't want to go there, but he just couldn't help it, and I thought the other campmates were really lovely with him.
Yeah.
Really lovely.
It sort of showed the real best, I thought, of Talisa, actually.
Yeah.
And the fact that she and Danny, and it just, they're all really coming together. I really love episode 2s. Because you've got the first one when they're all in their normal clothes and they're shiny, and then it's all like the new camp stuff, and then they get in, you really start to get to know who they are.
I think a huge thing as well is that you become so vulnerable so quickly in there. It's almost like a therapy session, and the people in there will be their family after 2 days.
Yeah.
It's wild how close you get after such a short amount of time. I find it really interesting as well is the people who are crying the hardest in there were people who have kids as well.
I think it's gotta hit
and it
you
was
in a
really,
different
really,
way.
it was, you
Yeah.
know, you had Danny, who's obviously like quite a new father, and you've got all of these people who are like sitting there, and like Oti as well, and
Yeah.
it must just be so hard to hear. So massive kudos to him for like coming out on day 2 and talking about
It's
that.
amazing, and I think that's the good thing about the show. You do really get that light and shade. You have these really like meaningful moments that I'm sure everyone at home was just like crying, and then you suddenly get these mad trials where things have been dropped on people's heads. I mean, GK, how did you think she did? She personally surprised me, blew me out the water.
Yeah. But
Well, as the guy that runs the show, you were really pleased.
You can see Ant's face when they're having
Oh, this is going to run, isn't it?
Well, we did a prediction of how she was going to do on our Jungle Club, which we do after this on Instagram. And I said 3. You said 6.
6.
So the fact she got 9, I mean,
Amazing.
we really
good.
underestimated her.
That spider on her head, though.
So good.
Yeah, I know.
Loads of motivational quotes as well. I enjoyed those.
You like that?
They were so
Yeah, I wanted
funny.
to
Live, laugh,
tell her.
laugh. What can I say?
I wanted you to say that she had a spider on her head. I really wanted you to
No,
point it
that's
out.
gross.
Well,
It
you
would
know,
have been so good.
With a lot of them, like, we look at the monitor to see the cameras, the shots from inside.
good.
You can't see it when the sun shines. We can't see a thing. So, you know, like, when you were doing the trials going, help me out, boys. We can't really.
see
'cause we
anything.
can't see it.
We try.
I'm going to tell you one of the best motivational quotes, almost a motivational quote that you said to me once, Anne. This is this is the first year I hosted the NTAs, right?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And I came out before to say hello to you guys in the front row before it went live into the O2 and all that stuff. And Deke said, how you feeling, Joe? You feeling all right? I was like, yeah, I feel all right, actually, to be fair. And I went, oh, you're going to go far in this business, son. You're a psychopath. So thank you for your wise words, guys.
And how true I was.
True.
Oh, look at that.
Very good judge of character.
Tremendous
He's many
psychopath.
things. He's many things, but he's a very good judge of character.
Thank you for coming on the show again.
You're welcome.
We'll see you
Love it. We
tomorrow.
love shooting the breeze with you guys.
Really
Maybe we're shooting
appreciate it.
breezes.
All we do now is go downstairs and watch you down on telly anyway in our room.
That's
so
terrifying.
Well, at least that's someone.
That's terrifying.
keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Keep it
and
up.
to Deck,
See you
everybody.
tomorrow.
Thanks, guys. Love you. Love them.
We love
Absolutely normal height.